Hi, I'm Darren, and welcome to New Factory Classics. You might be wondering, what does that even mean? Well, basically, in the early 30s and 40s in the film industry, um, they would turn out movies like a factory. They'd have a beginning, a middle, and an end, and they were very formulaic. Basically, they would have a team of writers just churning out the same movie over and over again with different variations, but the same actors, and that's how the holiday Hallmark family movie industry works now. They're going to have a beginning, a middle, and the end, and then they're all going to be following the same hmm, basic steps. There's going to be a lady or a guy that returns to a small town. They are having problems with their life in the big city. They are going to have trouble with love, trouble with work, too much of all this. And then they're going to meet a person that's from their hometown or from a small town, and they're going to fall in love. And if you're like the average person, you don't want to watch these. They're the same thing over and over and over again. And for some reason, I like watching them. I like the familiarity. I like the fact that they're predictable. I like that they follow the same thing. And it's just something you can have on and relax, especially during the holidays. But for some reason, I will watch them all year round. And now you don't have to. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch them on your behalf and break them down for you and just point out all the ridiculousness, all of the formularity, everything that's happening over and over and over again so you don't have to. So let's start with our first video, the Christmas venue. And as you can see, we have our standard brunette and our hunky man from the town that she's going to visit. And I'm going to break down the plot for you step by step and make some jokes along the way. And now you won't have to. But if you want to, it's made by Nicely Pictures, and I saw it on Peacock. So if you have Peacock, you can stream it. But it's very similar to your average Hallmark movie. So we have Kate over here. She is at dinner with her uh, hopefully fiance, and it's Christmas time, and she lives in the big city. They never specifically say what city it is. They don't really want to offend anyone. Sometimes it's New York, sometimes it's Chicago, sometimes it's some other eastern city, somewhere near the snow, somewhere where they can drive and get to the snow. But it doesn't matter because they just want you to identify with the fact that it's a big city. And so Kate's out with her man Steven, who lets her know that on his big business trip that they're not going to explain what type of business he does. He's going to miss Christmas, but more importantly, he doesn't want to have it on his shoulders that he's not going to be with her for Christmas because he doesn't want to be with her at all anymore. So he tells her how amazing she is and how much he loves her, but they need to break up so he can focus on the fact that he's going to be doing big business somewhere in Europe. He's got a European accent. You're not going to really know what it is, and it doesn't really matter. So Kate is heartbroken. She thought this was the love of her life. She thought they were going to get engaged, and the fact that this happened on Christmas. So she's very sad. They're going to discuss whether or not he should leave. Should he have the steak that he ordered? Should she have the steak? Should she have both meals? They're going to discuss this food for several minutes, and he'll decide to leave. He can get dinner somewhere else, and she's going to eat both meals and fade to the Christmas venue. Cut back to a few days later, Kate and her best friend Vic are just hanging out, talking about how she really has only one thing in life, which is editing for magazines and decorating for Christmas. So, luckily for her, it's Christmas time, otherwise, she would look like a psychopath. Um, but she just can't get over why he broke up with her, why he didn't want to get married to her. I mean, she edits magazines and she decorates for Christmas all year long, apparently. So that's going to be her defining character in these movies. You either love Christmas or you hate Christmas. You really can't fall in between. There's nothing that's useful in a movie like this for somebody who just kind of is okay with Christmas. You either need to love it, you need to hate it, but very well, you will not be another religion. In fact, some of them will have some Christianity in it, but more than not, it's just going to be the love of Christmas. So Kate needs to clear her head because her what she thought was fiance just broke up with her, and he's going to question mark for business. So she decides to go back to her hometown, some small town. It's not really said, and it really doesn't matter. In these movies, you just need to know that there's about 200 people that live in these towns. Their entire economy is based upon some sort of multi-day Christmas event. Um, they'll be decorating the trees, there'll be a tree lighting, there'll be, some sort of pie contest where the entire town goes to. It doesn't really make any sense. Most of the time, the town is on the edge because why would you base your entire economy on something like this? But that's what these towns do. But she specifically is going to see her dad, who owns a bed and breakfast. So she's going to go there and arrive, and nobody's there. She'll start trying to start changing a light bulb and helping out with the list of things that need to be done. She changes the light bulb by turning it, tries to turn on the light. That doesn't work. She goes through this 2 to 3 more times by just turning the light bulb. I'm not really sure what this actress thought was going on or what the director thought was going on, but normally you need to actually take out the old light bulb and put in a new light bulb when you're changing a light bulb. She falls off a ladder and lands into Drew, the other person pictured here, the love interest for the movie. Now, Drew has known her whole life. She doesn't remember Drew, but oh wait, they actually were in high school together, and he's head over heels in love with her, or at least was, but he's trying to hide it as much as possible. Drew reveals to her that he's an unemployed contractor who works on the side at this bed and breakfast. Definitely a nice catch. He works for her father. Her father is about to lose the bed and breakfast. Oh no, nobody is going to this small town at this bed and breakfast with 2 extra rooms that apparently is her dad's entire income. And because that, I'm not really sure what he's paying this guy with, but their plan is to renovate this house so they can sell it and he can retire because her dad's on a cane. Dad can barely walk, but she can't handle this. And worst of all, beyond the roof, the plumbing, and all the other needed repairs, there's no Christmas decorations up. So they decide that she needs to put up the Christmas decorations and help them pay for the repair of this house. Now the thing is the giant house and giant amounts of plumbing and the electrical work somehow come up to 25 or $30,000. I don't know where this house exists. It seems to be in some sort of northern Illinois, northern New York State. I will say a roof alone for a house this big should cost about $50,000, but everything costs 25 to 30. Now, she doesn't know what she's going to do other than Vic, her best friend, calls, who is a wedding planner. Now, she couldn't come on the trip because she's busy fleecing a bunch of people in the big city because everyone is just spending money that they can on planning their weddings. So she's getting $25,000, $30,000 per venue that she reserved. Oh wait, 25 to 30,000. That's how much we need to fix this entire inn, which is 10,000 square feet. But for some reason, everything is broken down, and 25 to $30,000 should fix this. So their plan is to get people to come and watch the house, visit the house, and use it as a wedding venue. So cue the montage with Christmas decorating because that's more important than the actual roof. That's more important than the plumbing. Let's go ahead and decorate this house. So they end up pulling out $25 to $30,000 worth of Christmas decorations, which is something that they have in these movies. Every house has $25 to $30,000 worth of Christmas decorations. It's decorated nicer than Disneyland on Christmas. Maybe if they sold those, they could repair the house. But more importantly, we need to do the con to get a family to use this place as their wedding venue, so then she can then use that money to fix the house. It turns out, though, that the family's mother-in-law is super into marriages, and she would never have a wedding at a wedding venue without people being married. So this is where Kate and Drew have to come up with a crazy plan and pretend like they're married. Comedy ensues, lying ensues. He's not good at lying, and it continuously is revealed he's still in love with Kate, even though she doesn't remember him. But she starts, along the way realizing how much Drew is the right guy for her. So they end up showing the house to these people, having to continuously lie. But, Christmas adventures ensue, constantly decorating cookies, constantly redecorating the house that they've already decorated with all the decorations, because that's all people do is decorate. Of course, Drew is scared of decorations. In an offhanded remark, Drew was once hit by a giant candy cane. Nobody asked any further questions. That's just something that happened in real life to him, a giant candy cane hurting him and causing trauma. But don't worry, Drew still likes food. Now, Kate's dad, who is barely able to walk on a cane, for some reason immediately falls in love with this mother-in-law of the couple, because two single people in their 60s instantly fall in love. That's how it is in real life, or at least that's how it is for these people. They walk into the same room. You're both single. You're both that age. You need to get married, or you will die alone. Dying for these people is very soon, so they must fall in love. So Drew and Kate, over these next 40 minutes of the film, slowly fall in love. Drew admits that he basically lies and says he loved her in high school, and she realizes he's not lying about that. Um, Time goes on, and she begins to fall in love with him. They're about to kiss, but it's way too early in a movie like this. She gets a call. It's Steve, her ex, and he's flying back from the question mark European country and wants to come see her. She tells him not to come, but he comes anyways, driving his Tesla through the snow. And as you know, Teslas and electric vehicles in general do great in the snow. And small towns of 200 people are known for all of their supercharger stations. So I'm sure that won't be a problem when he tries to turn it back on. Eventually, the lie comes out, and Steve attempts to make a pass at Kate. She kisses him back. The people freak out and try and cancel the wedding. Drew runs away because he realizes that Kate's with her true love, her ex, and Kate has to make a decision. Is she going to go back to Drew, the one who loved her for who she was, or Steve, the person who loved her, second to business? But once the business meeting is canceled, she seems pretty great. Women love being treated as the second option. Um, she ends up deciding that Steve is not right for her, and she sends him packing. And that's where he does. He just goes into his back room and packs, but he doesn't leave, which is important for later. Because the family is beginning to leave because they don't want to have this house because the people were lying about being married. She ends up telling the wife, the prospective wife, how much she's sorry, and talks about her dead mother and how she's given up painting and had to get into photoshopping for magazines. They have a little heart to heart, and the girl goes to sleep. Kate stays up painting all night and paints a picture of the wedding venue. The family wakes up and they decide, hey, we still want to get married, but we don't want to have the big wedding. How about this? Will you let us elope in your living room for $30,000? That's great. That's how much they need to fix the roof. Not to mention that they could get married in any living room for zero, but $30,000 is the number that's needed for this house. Unfortunately, there's no officiant. Oh, wait a minute. Steve, who was in the back room since last night and hasn't left, walks out and reveals that he actually became an officiant on his last trip to Europe. You know, when you're conducting business, you take that little hour-long officiant test. It's not really gotten into. The point is they're very happy, but this is still not happy enough. The mother-in-law who was falling in love with Kate's father reveals that she saw the paintings and she's wanting to give Kate thousands of dollars. You know, for that painting that you painted last night after the first time you hadn't painted in 20 years, I'll give you thousands of dollars for this painting. And I know a lot of other paint buyers that are also willing to pay thousands of dollars. Well, that works out for Kate, who now can leave her magazine job and stay in this town. But wait, she needs to go find Drew. So she makes her charge into the forest, finds Drew walking his dog, reveals that she didn't know it, but she loved him all her life too. And now they can be rich, they can run the inn, take it over for her dad, and apparently paint a painting every day or two and get thousands of dollars. See, things do work out at the Christmas venue. Now, you don't have to watch that movie. Thank you very much for watching my first video. Please leave a comment, subscribe, share, let me know what you'd like to hear, what movies you'd like to see. Give me some notes on how I can be better, and I appreciate you watching it. Have a good day.